And today we have a special in-studio guest. We have the young ladies from, what's it called?
Canna Kitchen.
Canna's Kitchen.
Canna Kitchen. Canna. That's Cannabis Kitchen. Canna.
Cannabis Kitchen. And they're gonna talk about infused food, particularly Spanish food and edibles and things of that nature.
And also, the more important side of is the benefits.
Yes,
of it.
The health benefits.
And I don't mean to step on your toes. Toes.
I don't have chos, so I'm fine. I do
Chubby
have
toes. You have toes. Chubby toes, nigga. Listen, before you get into that, the people that pay the bills, bro, you skipping.
Yo, bro, but you got to let me go through my routine.
That's not your routine. You skip to our guest.
No. I always like to let the people know what they're going. It's called an agenda, Chris.
You know what?
Thank you.
Do what you need to do. I apologize. I want to focus on the people that pay the bills. Go ahead. No.
With that being said, I would like to thank our sponsors, the Social Nostra Network, the network for creators, movers, shakers,
influencers.
And influencers.
Yes. Why you trying to be sexual influence? Like, what's going on with you today?
It's going to be one of these days with you. So, Chris, what do you know about cannabis? This is not to quiz you,
I don't know a lot.
Okay.
I've tried it in both forms, and I have stories. But
I bet you do.
But and I'm gonna share one of those stories with them when they come in. But yeah, I only they're ready to get. There you go. So ready, basically. Yeah, I have two experiences, and they're not really. I can't. The edible one was a little bit, but we'll get to that later. But I don't really know the ins and outs.
All right. For those that are novice, like myself, that really don't know a whole lot, except that it smells good, it supposedly gives you the munchies when you eat it. It's something that you take for medical reasons. I know folks battling
pain management.
Yeah, pain management. Actually, they have two
strains.
No. They have two drugs on the market that are FDA approved that are infused with cannabis for people to take chemotherapy.
Really?
And I forget the other one, but it's to help you eat more. I forget. Oh no, AIDS. That's what it is. These two drugs.
Yo, when you say AIDS and you point at me,
you obviously don't got it. You obviously don't got it. You're a healthy brother. But Chris, real quick before the young ladies join us, cannabis originated in Central Asia.
Okay.
I didn't know that. It was used going as far back as 2800 BC. Isn't that freaking amazing?
Yeah, the fact Jesus was getting high?
And
no, it was before Christ, so no. So it
wasn't
there
you
BC.
go. I didn't want to correct you. I'll let you correct yourself.
I apologize, my Christian people.
There are more than Christians. The hemp fibers were used to make clothing, paper, sails, rope, and its seeds were used for food. Isn't that fascinating?
It really is. You fucked the shit out of Google. You really did.
Big time. I had a lot of downtime today. No. So I just found that interesting, and then
I didn't know that 2800 BC thing. I didn't know that. So
yeah, man, they're talking about it's been around forever. The Asians, the way they were using it.
I thought in Asia was the opium thing. I thought in Asia was the heroin thing.
No, they have that too, but weed was first. So the other thing too is just marijuana, right?
Okay.
The word itself, marijuana, has a very racist, negative connotation to it. It was because of the Mexicans that were migrating and the Latinos that were coming in. So what the Americans would call it was marijuana to make it known that the word was foreign. It wasn't American.
Mexicans have a bad rap already. Now you're telling them that they're the cause of bringing weed into.
No, they weren't. It was a lot of people bringing it. But back then they were saying that marijuana was the reason for satanic music, jazz, and all that crazy stuff. So they said Negroes, Mexicans, and Filipinos.
Okay.
Were the ones that were kind of bringing it over.
That's the Asian part.
And that's when they started to heavily tax it. Laws were really strong. They didn't know the benefits. Well, or they were ignoring the benefits to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that being said, we have the young ladies here from Chris. I'll let you do it. Go ahead.
Canna Kitchen. It's simple.
No, I just like the way it rolls off when you say it.
I got the Spanish accent. That's what you find sexy.
Yeah, whatever. So ladies, verify that you can hear me.
I can hear
We
you.
can hear you.
Okay,
I can
cool.
hear
Nice.
Cool. So we'll go from left to right. If you could just introduce yourselves, and yeah, give us a little tidbit about yourself.
Sure. How you doing? My name is Bertha Medina. I am the from the three of us, I'm the cook.
Nice.
The important one.
Nice.
That one and the one that knows how to read how much THC goes inside. That one's very important as well.
That's collecting. So making sure the foot and the elbow and everything go into
Nice.
the meal.
And
Absolutely.
love, of course, because it's all about love. You know how you cook it. You know,
Absolutely.
It has to be with love.
Always.
Hi, I'm Elisa, Elisa Morales. I am probably the academic and the business person. And so I wanted to touch base where you were saying about marijuana. You were there, but you missed a very important. The reason they named it marijuana, it was because the armed forces were using it in the early 1900s, 1920s, and so they didn't want the servicemen, and they figured that if they gave it a racist name, then the racist connotations and the stigmas would follow, which it did. Now, the medical aspects, they were never going to look at that.
All right. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
A bigger conversation is just the healthcare in this country that is based on a white cis male,
Okay.
just in general. So you know they don't look into other things, and Western medicine is very different.
All right. We'll get deeper into that in a minute. All right, Lisa, it's your turn.
So, hi everyone. My name is Lisa Melendez. I'm one of the owners of Canna Kitchen. And a little bit about myself. I'm from Brooklyn, Borough Park, Brooklyn. And all of us reside in Brooklyn. Well, sorry, we all resided in Brooklyn. Bertha doesn't live in Brooklyn anymore. And Canna Kitchen is made with a lot of love. The ideas, the products, everything that goes into it is circled around love.
Cool. Lisa, I'm only gonna ask you just to come a little closer to the mic. You're just fine. You're sounding a little distant.
Guys, I want this to. We're going through a little kinks. Can you check? Because I just got a text that they're not seeing us through through the live feed. And it's very important because I want to be able to get high. I want to be able to get high and people not judge me. Everything's going, take a look at that, Jen, because I don't trust too much on look. All right, people, we're just trying to. For those watching live, we're
Fixing the glitch in the matrix.
fixing the glitch in the matrix.
I like that.
That's what it is.
If you see us, send me another text
Okay, cool. All right.
if we're live. If not,
Okay.
catch it tomorrow on YouTube and on IG.
Facts.
All right, so ladies, so how do you get into weed? That's what I want to know. And what was that experience about?
No, you know what? Before we get to that one, how do you guys meet?
Well,
Friends for
Yeah.
Forever.
decades.
yeah.
Okay.
At least 15 years. of
15 years
friendship.
plus,
20
20 plus.
Were you
20.
guys high when you started the business talk?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the best business
That's
talk.
usually the best
absolutely.
plans happen.
Continue.
High and hungry.
Actually,
And hungry.
Yeah, we were smoking. We were
no,
in your
no,
house.
no. When we went to dinner, the first meeting was
Oh.
you and I.
Yes, you're right
Okay.
about that. Yes, you're right. But as we grew, because we had like an initial idea, and then we just kept powwowing on it. Since we're friends, we were getting together anyway, and that's where our initial product was born, which is the Canna frito, which
Okay.
is traditional Puerto Rican sofrito, but infused with THC.
Oh.
And so we were discussing it the other day. It was kind of a no-brainer. As we were sitting there and talking, and I think Elisa was the first one
That's
to
my
actually
baby.
said it.
Yes.
And it was just like, yeah, that's it. Because then my brain started working, and we started thinking about how wonderful it would be to have the THC in something that is in practically
Our
everybody's
households,
home.
yeah, exactly.
It's in the households, Hispanic and non-Hispanic.
Yeah, not only
Yeah.
Latinos.
A lot of non-Latinos use sofrito too. So yeah, that was the baby. That's kind of how we started. It went from hanging out with each other and laughing together to get into this bag.
Nice. So, like, going back to my earlier question, so what was your first experience with weed, and how was it? Because it's not always a positive experience in the beginning. I'll take myself, for example. For years, I tried to get high, and I was doing something wrong because I could never get high. I would take in and hold it for until I passed out, and nothing was happening, so I gave it up. Then one day I'm with my friend Sharif, and we're in White Castles after a club run.
Yo, stop throwing people under the bus, man. You were a friend. You were a friend. That's it.
Yeah, you're gonna keep on interrupting me all day.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
God, bro. Yeah, so I took a couple pulls of this blunt. I said it's not gonna do anything. Why it hit me, and I was like Smokey in the chicken coop. I was freaking nervous. I'm running up the block, and after that was the last time. But it was, I don't know, it's weird. So how was your first experience, and what was it that kind of made you continue smoking or ingesting it, however you take it?
Okay, for me, I was 18, gonna be 19. I was at the Saint Gennaro feast, and it was with two of my friends who I will not name.
You know, exactly.
We got it. We're listening. We're listening.
While there was a little part of me that got a little anxiety, I'm someone that, I'm an overthinker. I'm always in my brain. So it gives me a break from that. Like, I know a lot of people, especially in the early 2000s, that were on Zoloft and Valium, and they were like zombies. Like, they didn't even resemble who they were. And so I find that for me, if I can stay away from Western medicine, right, they give you a prescription. It cures one thing, you have possible side effects of 30 others.
And horrible side effects at that.
Yes.
Terrible.
So,
And it's not even a cure. It's to keep you on for life. Now you're consuming something for the rest of your life.
so that was my first experience. And I mean, it was a while several years before I started smoking on the regular. And then a friend of mine he's the original connoisseur, he taught me about strains and potencies and educated me.
Okay.
Because, now that you can go to university now and get a degree in cannabis culture, in cannabis cultivation.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, the industry is totally booming.
And there's no way that this industry was going to blow up, and me, that I'm a connoisseur for years now, that I wasn't going to have a hand in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else want to share? First time?
Wow, I started in my early 20s, I want to say.
Okay.
I actually didn't like it. I didn't like the smell. I was one of those that I'm like, stay away. I had an ex-boyfriend. I'm like, oh no, stay
I
away.
contributed to you smoking more. I think I contributed.
You actually did. In fact, you and my brother. The very first time so it was like, this is whack. I'm like,
Oh,
what
so
the
you
fuck?
had a new experience.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you get out of that? I'm like, yeah. And then you gotta eat. I'm like, fucking gaining weight. Hell no. Fuck that. No way. But then again, I met these. This one.
I mean,
and my I'm not gonna name him, but it's my husband. Yeah, when I met him. Wow.
So-
and interesting because he can't smoke now.
Really?
Oh, he's hating. Oh, he's hating. I love it.
But
sucks, right?
let's leave out the details as of why.
No, I'm gonna leave the details. Yeah, you just can't. But yeah, it's.
So your first
I love
experience was a good one? Then?
The very first one
When you
sucked.
got high. No.
Yeah.
But when I did get high,
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
It felt good.
Yeah, maybe
And
I
your-
just
and
didn't know
yours-
how to inhale.
And yours too. The first experience that you actually felt that you got high.
Yes, but I was also with people I trust, right? There was,
That's important.
like anything new, there was an aspect of it that, I felt like a little anxiety, but it's something new. So anytime you try something new, there's a mixture of emotions, no matter what it is.
Especially what you just said. You're an overthinker. And those people, exactly, it works differently. That's why I ask you that, the experience. I'll get to my experience after Lisa's.
mine is not that complicated. It was I was 15 in FDR. I think it's all our alma mater. And my friends, they were like, "Yo, you got $1?" I'm like, "What's the dollar for?" Back then, we were still getting like big bags and stuff, it was like I smoked and. I don't know what I was expecting because I really didn't know what to expect. I just know that my peers were smoking and they were still attending class or doing everything that they normally do, maybe, slower and with a giggle.
Exactly.
My first experience is, as I recall, I didn't feel
Nothing.
much. No.
I
And
think it's-
that curiosity to wanting to know what the hell was the
Yeah.
hoo-ha about, I did it again. I thankfully have never gotten paranoid or anxious
Okay.
or
Really?
any of those things.
Never, not first time.
I don't
That's why I asked you. It was the first time you got
Oh.
paranoid or something.
No,
Yeah, I
You're a
forgot
little
to that.
anxious.
Yeah, I did get paranoid. I
Okay.
was like, what the fuck? I thought, yeah.
But what did you feel? Because that's
I
what
feel
I
like
want.
people were chasing me. I just
Really?
It
Was
was just,
that-
I was anxious. Yeah. But then afterwards, I just, Like gradually. Not easy.
My experience.
Here we go.
My,
Brace yourself.
my experience.
You know it's a 1 hour show, right?
No, it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be quick. Because I had two, and which I want to dive in on the edible type stuff. When I smoked, I'm a big dude, so I smoked, and the most I felt like I was in the Matrix. Like when I would do this, like.
Time. It was time lapse.
Yeah, exactly.
You high?
Yeah, of course, of course. So that was my experience. It wasn't a bad experience. It was just like, yo, this is freaky. This is kind of cool or whatever.
Tell them how old were you when that happened.
I was gonna say, did you hide from
This
your
was
parents?
last week. No, this is
No.
last week.
I just said, did you hide from your parents?
I'll be honest with you, without giving away my age, I tasted weed
Today years old.
about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
okay.
Which
The
I was
very first time.
Okay.
for the first time.
Very nice.
Which
Which is amazing.
very
in the
when-
areas
when-
you
when-
You're a
live.
when-
late
when-
bloomer.
areas where he
I know a lot of people you know. You're a late bloomer. Okay.
So and I tried it and I realized that oh shit, it makes me feel good. It's great for sleeping.
Yeah.
It's great for sleeping.
It's excellent cure for insomnia.
Now, my boy, I know he doesn't care if I mention his name, but I'm not going to mention his name. I've been wanting to try the edible part,
Okay.
and they say the edible hits you a little bit stronger.
And it's different.
And
It's
it's
different.
It's a body
And
high.
then
And these are savory foods are different. We'll get into that
okay,
from sweets.
because that's where I
Yes.
want to get to.
Yes.
So it's funny because I bought a bag of
Gummies?
the gummies, the sour strips.
Okay.
So I know my boy's a professional smoker. He's a professional cannabis. I said-
Connoisseur.
Yeah, connoisseur. I
connoisseur.
said, you know what? How much you take? My nigga, take one. You big. You gotta take this. I said, oh, okay. And his wife told me, no, Chris, take half.
Yeah.
Half is gonna be good. So I take half. I take half of half.
Okay.
I'm in Sherwood Road. Nothing's happening. I come back home. I said, this ain't doing shit. Let me take, and then I took half.
Okay.
So and then I
So
started.
you took 3/4 of it.
Exactly. I decided to start reading, and it says it can hit you from 15 minutes to 2 hours.
Correct.
I took it. This ain't shit, man. I thought I get knocked out. I knock out. Wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. TV is on. I wake up, and the King of Queens is playing on the TV, and I look at the TV, and I feel different. And then I go like,
Feeling virile?
and then I wink, and when I wink, I change the channel. And I'm changing it, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You were laying on the remote, weren't you?
I don't know what the fuck was going on. I'm changing it with my I'm blinking. I'm changing the TV. So I said, whoa, this is not normal. Let me go. I close my eyes. Then I feel my heart banging. Do 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 do. Oh shit. I'm again. That's exactly what I thought. I said, I'm about to call 911. About to call 911. I said, so then I'm like, hey, Chris, I'm having a conversation with myself. I said, Chris, relax. It's the fucking edible. I just remember what I read. It's 11. It's processed by the liver, so it's 6 to 11 times more, whatever. It becomes a it becomes hallucinogenic or something like that. That's what I read. Psychoactive.
Okay, yeah, not
So,
hallucinating.
entonces, no, yeah.
He just turned into LSD.
I don't talk about cannabis.
You sure you ate an edible?
Yeah, I don't
So,
know what kind of
the
edible
thing
that
is-
was.
I come and said, Chris, it's the fucking weed. You're good. You're not getting a heart attack. So I come, breathe. My thing is breathe. So I start breathing, and I calm my heartbeat down. But I calmed it down so much it stopped beating.
I just breathe.
Motherfucker! I'm not lying. I swear to God, it's like, okay. And then this is me, like listening to see if I hear my heartbeat. That was my, and I shared it with very few people.
Now the world knows.
And ever since that time, I'm by myself too. So maybe if I would have taken it with somebody else or
That's
somebody new,
scary.
maybe it would have been,
Yeah.
But I won't. I didn't deter. Well, I can't say I didn't deter from it because I haven't had it since. But I'm open to it because I like to be tranquilo. I like to be in a nice, calm state, and I have the fucking mentality. So the edible
Well, now
Little
you
got
know
me.
though. But now you know that
Not
you have
yet.
to wait and give
I
it a
haven't
minute.
Of course, 100%.
Went so it could kick in.
Because I never,
Take
first
it
time.
and expect
Y
to
por
be
afrentado.
right later.
Esto no hace nada.
Okay, so for some, especially for someone like you, someone that's just starting out, if you go online, go to a dispensary, they'll tell you to start slowly, and they'll also talk to you and see what kind of high you're looking for. For example, especially during the day, I'm a very busy person. I'm a big sativa girl.
Okay.
I don't really have time unless I want to go to sleep for a heavy indica that's going to put me to sleep.
Explain that for the people that don't know. Sativa, what's the difference between sativa and indica?
So a sativa, there's 3 basic strains.
Strains.
A sativa, an indica, and a hybrid. Sativas tend to be more energetic, but they could also be just a calm, creative high. But it's about a productive high.
Okay.
An indica, it doesn't necessarily put you to sleep, but relaxing. It's good for recovery because one of the big trends now is consuming THC before you're working out because you can endure more, your body recovers quicker. So it's more about relaxing, or what kind of relaxing. There are indica strains that are given to people who are insomniacs that can't sleep.
Okay.
So there are strains that'll put you to sleep. And then the hybrids can be half and half, or indica dominant or sativa dominant, and you mix and match. So you go to a dispensary and you speak to a bud tender. You tell them what you're looking for or any ailments that you may want to try to take care of with cannabis, and they'll direct you to the right strain.
Okay, that's good to know. See, I didn't know that.
That was actually a good question. Going back to Chris's point, being that you guys cook and you have to test and you have to kind of gauge how strong it is, how do you do that? Is it do physically testing, or you just go based on what chemicals you're putting in?
So,
We have machinery.
Yeah,
We have-
I was
yeah,
just
we
asking
And it
to
measures,
make sure
it's pretty accurate. It tells
that-
you.
No, it's accurate.
Very
Oh,
okay.
okay.
It lets
So
you
when
know
you-
what your weed is off the Richter scale versus like an exact.
Yeah, this is a sample of some
Exactly.
of our products.
So
if you don't mind.
This tells you right here.
So what is that?
That's
what is-
coconut oil.
That's the coconut oil.
This is coconut oil. I'm cooking with coconut oil.
Right. So that however you would cook whatever meal it is that you're making.
If you turn it
Um,
around, the percentages, the
in the
dosage is in the
See
back.
The dosage in the back.
Can
So
you
we
read
try
my
to be,
handwriting?
we try to be
It's
as
kind of
informative as
atrocious.
possible with the stuff that you're, ingesting,
Oh,
only because
okay.
we want to know
Give it a look, maybe
how
a little.
much you are ingesting, and then we'll definitely let you know. Like everything that we cook.
It's custom ordered.
Which is awesome because
Yes.
I don't want to, like I said, I want to make sure how high, I don't want to like over
And we
OD.
try everything we eat and we make.
Guys, just so you know what I'm holding here. So you have the oil in a glass bottle, and it gives you the strand type on the back.
Correct.
It says Platinum Kush.
Uh-huh.
Medication is in
No,
this
it's
pack.
not medication. On the side it says the strand. If it's an indica hybrid.
Oh yeah,
or
it does.
sativa.
So there's 3 little fields,
Uh-huh.
and indica is the top one, and it's checked off. So
Right, and it also tells you
How
in
many
that-
milligrams
is in that
4,000
whole-
m's.
Yeah.
4,000 milligrams in that whole jar of THC.
So
Oh, wow.
what's the Tell me.
So that's an 8-ounce jar right there.
Okay.
So each ounce has 500 milligrams, right? So there's 2 tablespoons to an ounce.
There you go.
And each tablespoon is 250 milligrams. So the way you would do it is, say you use an ounce, which is 500 milligrams,
Capsules.
and you make food for 6 people. So then you would take the 500 milligrams and divide it by the servings. So each serving would be 30 milligrams.
Really, it's that simple.
Yes, as long as you have the numbers that I give
That
you
you're
on the
starting
bottom.
with,
right.
Which is
Yes.
very important. That's really really good.
Yes.
Because like a person like me, a person like me, I'm like I'm gonna put half the jar in there.
No, no, no,
And then I'm
no.
gonna pass
No,
out.
so you see,
Y
one
me
of the
levanto
things.
3 días después.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So we don't want that.
The thing now is that the numbers that we rattled off are correct, but those are high numbers.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
exactly. I was
saying?
about to say yeah.
Those are high numbers. This particular products that we have here are made for the consumer that consumes, that
Okay.
wants to
Everyday,
cook.
the everyday consumer.
Correct.
That's what I was gonna
Correct.
get to, because everybody's different, right?
Correct. One of the big things now with like all these restaurants that are opening stoned cakes in
Mhm.
NYC, and I'm sure we're gonna see a bunch more. One of the big things, because it's an experience that you're having while you're ingesting the THC with the savory foods. Now, these places, when you go and you buy, everything is infused, from your drinks to your desserts to everything. They do balance it off, as we do too, with having some non-infused items as well.
Okay.
The other thing the big thing that they're doing is they're dosing. Everything is like 10, milligrams. They're very, within your whole meal.
So that's not really a lot.
No, it's definitely not a lot.
Because that's the numbers I've been hearing when you consume something. I hear 8 milligrams, 10 milligrams. You hit me with 500. I'm like, oh,
But that's
the whole jar.
Right, that's the whole
No,
jar.
No, that's 2 tablespoons.
That's an ounce.
An ounce.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Which is good.
No, yeah, it makes a lot of sense because from a legal standpoint, they can't get people hammered going behind the wheel.
Correct.
Now you have an issue,
Correct.
so you got to
The whole thing is to have
moderation.
an experience and get some type of a buzz where you feel that your senses are heightened, but you're not incapable
trash.
of, right,
Exactly.
you're not incapable of driving and doing whatever. They do, in the restaurants, do offer, if you want something stronger because you are, you know, a consumer, and this, you know, you don't need the baby hand holding.
Exactly.
They do also sell stuff. So that for us, we've used it in the sense of our custom orders. When anybody slides in our DMs or emails or calls us that they want something, that's one of the first things that we talk about. So this stuff that we're preparing, is it for you, or are you bringing it to a crowd? And we'll go into the whole spiel as well, because a lot of people just
Which is
aren't
awesome. You're educating.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's the big thing behind Canna
But the
Kitchen.
beauty of our products is if you buy the products, we put the dosage in your hands. Now you have the numbers, you decide how much you want to use, you don't
Correct.
want to use. If you're at home and you're not going out for the rest of the night, then you could hit it a little harder. But she's our chef, so I'll pass it over to her so she can give you a little more input.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. Ask away.
Do you make chalafang infused?
Of course.
Oh,
we
that's
do.
my favorite.
My Ecuadorian
I
listeners.
brought you. I
Yeah.
actually brought you ceviche uninfused.
Oh my God.
Out there for you
Nice.
and your family,
Thank you.
right? It's my
Appreciate
little
it.
uninfused.
Okay.
But yes, we pretty much make whatever you want to,
Infused.
anything that we can make in the kitchen, we can infuse. We'll
So
infuse.
let's just
Chris,
say.
real quick,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Is the infusion, does it happen while it's cooking or it's after the fact?
No,
While it's
While
cooking.
it's
While it's
cooking.
cooking. So you
Everything
don't
is
lose
done-
anything with
and
the
everything
heat?
is done fresh.
No.
You don't lose
It's
anything?
it's not like cooking with alcohol, and we can make it strain specific. Like, say you want to have a party, a birthday party, or whatever, and you're like, nah, I want just everything sativa. We could
So
also
homemade,
make
yeah.
it strain specific.
Silly question. Here we go. When you're eating infused cannabis food, do you still get the munchies while you're eating? Yo, that would have been a great question if you were high.
That is a
That-
great.
You just want to fuck.
I thought about that when I was drunk.
Everybody who's smoking out there.
Think about it,
Joe.
you are high. Think about it, you're high. You do get high eventually. So one of the things is you do get munchies, and it's up to you what you decide to eat. But that's why we have our desserts.
Yeah, we go to desserts.
So we do
too.
have desserts as well.
So does the sativa strain or the indica strain, does that have any play with if you
How
get hungry or
hungry?
not?
No.
It depends on the strain, because believe it or not, there's indica strains. There's some strains that suppress your hunger. It all depends on the strain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll tailor it to what you want. So we
Okay.
always ask a question like, what is it that you want it for? Is it just a party, or is
These
it, you
designer,
want to take it at night?
these designer flower power,
Yeah.
I call it bud, that's coming out now, and all these cultivators that they're doing, they're making these hybrids. They're using the terpenes and the specific qualities that certain buds have, and they're mixing it
Oh, okay,
together.
I got you.
And coming
They're
up.
real
That's how you
chemists.
get your hybrids and all that, right?
In also to touch back, and as far as going as how strong it depends on the bud. If we're getting our flour and we're getting top line flour, we don't even have to use the levels that we use. We got to tailor it because it's going to be too strong.
Exactly.
People are going to be seeing Uranus.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So
The machine that we have to test it, the first couple of things that we made, it came out, and then they were
Very
like,
strong. We
"Did
didn't
you
have
do it
testing.
wrong?
Well,
Was it?
well-
Is the
It
machine
came out
frozen?"
high?
It
What?
said too high to test because it.
Let's stay right there. There had to be some funny stories in the beginning trial.
I mean,
Like how shit-faced you guys got in the beginning, because
it was terrible.
I
It
could
was
imagine.
terrible.
So the
The
first
first
time I
time-
made something for them,
Uh-huh.
Well,
Go ahead.
we're Spanish. You didn't tell me 1 tablespoon. 3
No, no, exactly.
We never follow directions.
That's the ancestor.
You know, so
That makes sense. That makes sense.
This one, you know, like the meme says, she waits till the ancestor day.
that's my hand.
And then I'm over here like, no, because then we can't do dosage. I need exact. I'm behind her like this.
Well, I was already
It's
high.
like-
Anyway. It was a high top. What did we have? We made fish, right? And
We made fish, mashed potatoes.
fish, mashed potatoes, and a mango salad.
All infused.
All infused.
All infused, but the shit
Everything.
came out banging,
It was.
right?
It was
Yes.
delicious.
Let me tell you something.
Even the dressing on the salad.
I'm
was
always
infused.
on time, and I woke up. So one thing I want to say: our food, our products, they do not put you to sleep at all.
Okay.
When you go to sleep, you will sleep like you're a baby.
Yeah, very
Nice.
restful sleep. Very restful sleep.
I stumbled to get to work. I lost my work sandals that I take with me. I didn't even notice I got to my office that I lost them somewhere along the line. She was 3 hours late to work, thinking she just closed her eyes for 10 minutes.
Get out of here.
We
Yeah, it
couldn't
was one of
even
those.
get
I
in
didn't make it
contact
to
with her.
work.
Yeah.
And I'm always the one to say I don't feel it. Like
Well, you
I
know what
can-
it is
I can-
also?
I can see that.
I can see
see
It
that.
was
I can
that
see
was it because you didn't
And-
taste it.
And that's the other
That's
beauty.
why.
When we got into the game, we did like a sit down dinner, a test run with friends, and we kind of mixed it up. We had non-smokers, smokers.
Guinea pigs.
Yes, that's basically what it was.
Did they know? Did they know?
Everybody
Yes.
knew what they
Okay.
were sitting
Don't
down
Bill
to
Cosby
eat.
nobody. Don't be Bill Cosby.
Guys, that is Lee.
Oh my God.
That is Lee. If Lee invites
not-
you somewhere,
I'm
be
not-
very, very careful.
I'm not going to dinner unless you tell me what's on the menu.
We're very transparent.
we
We're
were
very
selective also with
transparent.
the
Okay,
people
okay.
that,
Yeah.
Which was very important,
we
was
were
very
very
important.
selective, and you
We
tell
had-
them what the.
We
Yeah,
told them
very sure.
everything, but we had some people that came that aren't consumers.
Right.
They
Okay.
just wanted to try, and everything was so good. Like food-wise, everything came out perfect. And so because they weren't, they were expecting some sort of cannabis thing that they were gonna be like, like I can't fuck with it type of deal. But it wasn't. Everything they consumed, from the pastelillos to it was like this vegan mango pepper salad she made, to arroz con pollo. Everything was infused, even the
Cupcakes.
desserts, everything. And so these women were eating, and they just kept eating.
They
By
had
the time we
seconds.
got to the third course, because it was a sit down dinner, and we served it in courses.
Okay.
They were real cute, real.
You
And
guys
I'm
should have
like,
had the camera going.
we
That
really-
would have
that
been
would-
awesome.
That would have been
Well,
great.
you
That
know what
would've
the
been
thing is that we
awesome.
wanted it also to be private. Cause
No,
it
no,
was
I
our
mean, but
first
just
time.
for amongst
But we do
yourself.
have
No,
some
for
pictures.
your.
This
Yeah,
is our
ours
first
are-
time
yeah.
doing all
Oh,
of
we
this.
have the
so-
memories.
Okay.
I have the
No.
memories.
Listen, video footage is perfect for what you guys are doing because
Yeah.
you could chop it up, speed it up just to show the effects. And not only that, but you get live testimony because guys can tell you, I didn't taste it. And you know what? I feel great.
Yeah.
It only enhances your product and helps you sell it more.
And it took a lot for it, and it's still you still have a ways to go. It took a lot to
Get here.
demonize. Ooh, that's a new word.
Okay.
Destigmatized?
Yeah, but in the bad word. I don't like to be corrected on it.
Yo, she came in on you like,
Real-
like reaches.
She came hot.
Right answer.
So it's a good. That's that's a good thing that he's saying
You sure
because
you not high?
a little bit.
I don't need no contact bullshit.
No,
I am contact
This is
bullshit.
shaken baby syndrome right here. So, but going back to Lisa, what you were touching on, you said you guys could put it into anything. I'm looking at hot sauce. This shit is as cool as fuck. Because if I go to the barbecue with this, I'm the man.
Yes.
How many squirts to get? That's no, I'm saying if
What kind of podcast is this?
I'm saying if my boy,
I stop at tablespoons. I stop at tablespoons.
I don't even know.
no,
We got little vasitos. To answer that, we got little vasitos, and as far as like
That's
yeah,
another one.
that's
That's
what.
another
No,
dish.
no.
That's another. Yeah, that's
It's
another
like a little
sauce
mojito.
Tablespoon.
for the empanada. But that is uninfused,
Yeah.
right? That's
This one I made it uninfused, so you can guys have that.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
thinking of you when
What
we
made
did.
you- what made you think that we don't? What made you think that we don't want that we want
Well,
the
didn't
infused?
I don't know
someone
because
said that you
well, no.
Huh.
No. Time
no,
out.
I
Remember
appreciate
what
that.
I said?
Yeah, I I told them. I told
Him
them.
then, him.
No, I know. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
No, and I appreciate everything you're saying and with dosage, but I'm saying if I want to be captain, play a prank,
Right.
how many, little shots? Somebody's wing if I'm putting 2 shots.
How much
is
would be like a squirt? Like how many milligrams?
Yeah,
would
you won't
be?
be able to. That won't be able.
You can't break down that fine
yeah.
line.
Like a tablespoon. Okay, so a tablespoon of this hot
Well,
sauce.
it would see the thing is for us to be able to do that, we would have to know you have to infuse the whole thing.
Oh, this
and
is not
then-
infused.
No.
No, that one I did uninfused.
Oh.
For you. But
Yeah.
we
For
make
him.
infused.
No, got you.
We make
No,
it.
got
So
you.
It's okay.
So, but if we were to have the hot sauce infused, we would, of course, measure what we're infusing it with, whether it be tincture, oil,
Yeah, like the same. Like
sofrito, and then how much is in it, and then break it down. We would see
Nice.
exactly what goes into a squirt.
So let's just say you're doing a.
But who has a squirt though?
Exactly.
No, I'm
This-
talking.
this
No,
has a
listen. Listen, if I'm at a barbecue with non-smokers
All you
and they
need
leave
has
their wings
just
out
one
with it
squirt.
and they keep it moving,
Wow.
just to go see them like an hour, 2 hours later.
So let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Let's just say you're doing a fish, and
How would we infuse it?
yeah, how would you're gonna
So
use
it
the
just-
oil?
Of course, so it just depends on what
Oil,
type of
butter.
fish.
So
So
if-
if oil, butter,
butter.
depending if it's
Oh, you
salmon,
infuse
want
butter
it
too?
I think also
we
we're
infuse
making
everything.
Yes,
seasoning.
everything.
That's
Our
the
own
next step.
seasonings too.
So un caldero de arroz, I'm gonna do a pot of rice.
So un caldero de
sofrito.
arroz. So what do you
So
can do it with a sofrito? You
But we
can
do
do
put a
it.
little bit of oil. Oh,
Like,
so,
and oil, so you
it'll
use
be
the
like the
oil.
same thing, like I'm doing the sofrito, the 2
Exactly.
tablespoons.
It is
Correct.
Yes.
Listen, it is just like making your
Same
dish,
thing,
but
but
it's
you
just
just-
you're
Yes.
substituting.
You put the
oil
happy
for
stuff in it.
So we
Correct.
also make another thing that's called tincture. That's alcohol based that
Yes.
you can also do to infuse, you cook with your
Yeah,
food.
that's THC
and
in
you
its
put
purest
that, get
form.
this, in your teas and stuff before you
Oh,
go
that's
to bed.
pretty
So
cool.
it actually,
Did
yeah,
you
'cause
bring me
I
that?
do
Is that?
I do that to my.
No, we
to
didn't
my
bring the
aunt.
tincture the next time we come on because we're looking into making honey as well. So
Oh,
that's
smart.
Yeah, we're
Very
gonna keep
smart.
expanding
I'm
with
gonna
the
have you
stuff.
on next
Doing
week
hard
so you can
things.
bring the tincture.
Ladies, you know what? Let's get into the meat and potatoes of your business.
Okay.
So first of all, tell people what products they can find and where could they purchase the products.
So I mean, they can find us in Instagram, Canna Kitchen. There you go.
CANNA_kitchen, and instead of a
instead of the E, it's the number
3.
3. Yeah.
Got you.
Kitchen, and then they can
And-
DM us. We'll have our information, the business cards that we have, our phone number as well.
How does it work? Like, does it get shipped out? Do they pick it up? Like, what's the
Drop off or pick up,
We
whatever.
drop off.
So that's
Yeah.
what I
Even the
Scale it
patella
out,
ladies
scale it
like,
much-
Papa,
oh,
if it's
yeah.
not 50,
I
I'm
mean,
not coming
yeah,
out.
So far it's been. I mean, when we're doing it like that, we're doing half a dozen. People aren't buying 2 empanadas.
Exactly.
They're buying it by the dozen, by by the trays.
And Lisa, you
So-
guys also cater, right? Events?
We can do cater,
Yes.
totally.
Okay.
We can cater.
Guys, you heard that, catering events.
I wanna
Sports
pay some-
events. That's what I was thinking. Sports
Nice.
events, boxing events. You
Hey,
have the
football's back.
batalillos. You have exactly.
I want to pre-order some coquito. I know you're gonna do it regardless.
Yeah, we.
Oh,
are.
yes.
Yes.
I know it's gonna happen, so I
The
want to pre-order
pistachio
it.
flavored
Okay.
one too.
That is amazing.
I need
had
it
that for the
so
first
good,
time. Oh my
isn't it?
God.
I need it
That's
infused
amazing. I'm going,
with
yes.
the indica. I don't want to be.
Tú no quieres estar
No,
eléctrico.
I just want to
You
be.
see, he's hype already. He
Ah,
doesn't
yeah.
need-
I need to-
he needs
we
a
need
to
down.
tell
He
you.
needs a down.
You're at a 10 and we need you at a 2 de la Cruz Santos. We need that down. We got to contain it.
All right, so the stuff that you infuse the alcohol with, that's not here. That's another product that
another
you
product.
have.
That's
Yeah,
tincture.
okay.
it's called tincture.
Tincture. Okay.
So right now what we have here, we
Yes.
have olive oil, avocado oil,
And the coconut oil.
coconut oil.
And then we also have empanada, which I made this afternoon for you guys. It's fresh.
Okay.
So we
So
have
I mean,
a
we
whole
can't
tray of
open it on
empanadas
here,
outside.
but we made them outside. There's a spread.
Okay. No,
Nice.
we're gonna-
and it's a.
We're gonna
it's
go
a-
outside.
it's
We're
a
gonna take it
nice-
outside and.
It's a nice size dosage.
You may
Yeah.
want to take half.
half.
Oh, esto está
You
infused.
may
Esto
want
está
to.
infused.
Yeah, this is
Esto-
infused.
Ese-
Se jodió todo.
Eso tiene fuego.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
also ceviche
Consume
uninfused
with
and regular for
caution.
everyone.
But that's
yeah.
that's like 50 milligrams. So
The whole thing is 50 milligrams?
Correct.
Okay.
correct.
So you're gonna. have-
Yes, you know one of the
Although I
things.
think you could do it.
No, I just want to go back
The
to
peer
his
pressure is
question.
gonna.
He's asking if half the empanada is with milligrams. You said the whole thing.
No,
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 she
I'm
said
telling him to eat only half.
No,
because
but he's saying the whole thing is 50 milligrams?
Yes.
Like, she can't only make it half. It has to be the whole thing.
it's the whole thing.
No, I understand.
So one of the things.
Yo, why you trying to make me look bad?
Because you saw high as fuck.
One of the things that we're doing is making foods with different levels of infusion because a new person, a new consumer cannot handle that.
And you know what?
A new consumer can't handle this.
That whole one,
Somebody
no.
that's never consumed it before,
No.
they'll probably feel like you did. They'll wake up blinking and changing channels.
And
You'll wake up turning off the lights with your eyes next time.
Nice.
And I'm glad that you said that. I'm so glad that you said that. As we're transitioning and it's becoming legal, less places are testing for it. You have a lot of newbies. So it's good the way you're introducing it, because if I've been interested in this for years and now I have the opportunity, I
Right.
like to know that I can ease into it and not have
Right,
a
and
negative
experience
experience.
at home,
You guys
in a
just
comfort setting, you choose
you
it.
guys just educated us, because I didn't know, like when I had my experience, I just took a big piece. You start off slow because you don't want to have that first experience to be bad, because it's going to deter you from something that might be productive for you.
Correct. Another thing that I just want to touch on that we didn't speak about is in this experience of having the THC with the savory foods and not just the nerds
The
and
sweets
the
and
sweet
yeah.
stuff. When you speak medically, I have a medical background, so when you speak medically, the products here can be used at home for people that are sick. You people that have never consumed and all of a sudden, got a terrible diagnosis, they're not just gonna,
I
you're not
attest
gonna
to that.
convince somebody to say, here,
Yeah.
roll up this bag and smoke, because it's gonna make you feel better.
yeah.
You're not, especially a doña,
Yeah.
a don,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But if you come with a sofrito, mira, cuando tú vas a cocinar, usa este aceite. You're gonna use this oil to cook, mami, titi, whoever.
Un poquito.
And they get to reap the benefits of the cannabis plant without smoking.
Okay,
The
yeah.
idea isn't to get everybody
No,
to
high.
be
Yeah, no.
right, to be on THC and for recreational uses and to smoke. The thing is, we're already privy to it. You know what I'm saying? We already know what it is. The thing is to break these walls down with the industry booming the way that it's going, and mainstream it and get it in the houses, like La Flor products, like all these other
Yeah.
products, Loisa, and all these new seasoning things that are coming out. If I can make a seasoning that's water soluble, that's gonna get on the meat, and you're not doing anything but you're reaping the benefits, you're not in pain, you can
Yeah.
sleep if you're on chemo or whatever the case
Exactly.
is. So that's the big thing also behind Canna Kitchen. For me, that was a big thing when we were discussing it and talking about like our mission goals and stuff like that. That was one of the big things for
Which
me.
is awesome.
And that story you just said is cool as hell, because I think back to my mother when I lost her, and she was going through it. She was real thin. Had I had something like this, maybe she would have ate a
Maybe.
little more, and it would have probably changed the
Absolutely.
outcome, or at least bought me more
Absolutely.
time. So
Or
I
less
love
pain.
that story.
Listen,
Right.
I
That's
attest to
pain.
that because I have, I'm an autoimmune, disease. Like I have, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis. I had Lyme disease. It was crazy.
wow.
So much medication, and I'm like, what the hell? What's going? I didn't like it. I don't like taking that much
Wow.
medication. So then I got, I spoke with pain management, and they gave me, now they're giving the medical. I hate saying that word.
No,
marijuana.
don't say it.
I hate it.
Don't
But-
say
but
it.
That's what the card says,
yeah.
So
No, they're changing it.
Yeah,
no,
they-
but
but-
my physical
Your
card
old
does
one,
still say
now
that.
they
it
say
says that.
cannabis.
So it's just, and it's just I'm trying to I replaced a lot of my medication.
Which
with
is
that.
awesome.
So I'm like,
And you're feeling better.
I'm feeling a lot
All
better.
bullshit
I mean,
aside.
of course I get flares. Of
No,
course you
that's
do.
gonna happen, but
absolutely.
you took
And
away the
From
medication.
what's
taking like 30
crazy?
pills?
Yeah.
Well, hello,
Taking
yeah, your
one?
liver.
That's
Like
awesome.
you can't take the what is
The
it?
liver.
Steroids that that just makes you gain
Yeah.
weight. Now I'm
And
I'm
all
back to
and
my
most of
normal
these
self.
medications are processed by the liver, so you're damaging your
Yeah.
liver more.
Correct.
easily.
But not only that, that gets into the for-profit healthcare in this
Oh, it's
in this
insane.
country, right? Because this country has moved from being a country for the people to being a business. But that's for another day. The bottom line, one of the biggest things that we also want to talk about and destigmatize is the lazy pothead, right? Because that is a fallacy. Because
Big time.
all three of us right here, at one point, we were all single mothers. I know for me, most of the time I worked 2 jobs when I was raising my son. She is constantly working 2 jobs or having side hustles. She's doing the same thing. I mean, and now I work a job that I work like 60-hour weeks, and I still have time for my business, for my friends, for all my other
Very
commitments.
productive.
While consuming cannabis.
Exactly, while consuming cannabis. So the lazy pothead, that shit is a myth, because everyone I know that consumes cannabis hustles and hustles hard.
No, if you're lazy, you're lazy.
That's
Exactly.
It's got nothing to do with the cannabis.
Exactly.
No, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I'm lazy, so my favorite weed strain is Coke.
Yeah, I can't control it. Listen.
But you know what's so crazy? We didn't even talk about, the hemp plant that cannabis comes from. Did you know that in the 1800s, there's something called hempcrete? It was used to build buildings. It was used as paper. It was even used as legal tender.
He started off the program with
Yeah,
the information
it's
that
given
shocked
it-
me.
given it
What you
to
just said is shocked me. I'm like, what, really?
Yes.
It went all the way
Amazing.
down to 28. You said 2800 BC.
No, 2800 BC, and it was originally used for clothing, paper,
Yeah,
sails,
yeah.
rope, and the seeds were used as food. And it was the Asians that were the first ones that were using it. The business, how long before you guys think you guys could leave your 9 to 5 and put all your energy into that? Is that in the vision?
I'm manifesting next week, but realistically speaking,
She's high, guys!
I mean, realistically speaking, we really started, from the bottom, and now we're here. It's been steady growth, and I mean, there's no way I can't answer that.
I guess what
question,
Lou's
'cause
trying
I
to say
don't know.
is that part of the plan.
But that is
That's the
goal.
plan.
That's the
goal.
eventual
Yeah,
plan
that
with
is.
me, because I'm in real estate, so I want to pivot because real estate for the cannabis industry is now an avenue.
No, and the reason why I'm bringing it up, because I want to use this opportunity for you ladies to maybe get people that want to invest in your company. So I want to see how far along you are, because anybody that's listening now,
Right.
reach out to these ladies. Let's put some
Yes.
money
Yeah,
into it.
they started
Let's put
something.
money
Let's
into people that we
talk.
know.
This is
Yes.
special.
And so, you understand, be part of something
Yes.
special. And that's why I was opening up to that conversation. Are you guys willing to entertain that? Do you guys have a roadmap, maybe food truck, where you're at
We've been
with
toying
permits?
around
That's
with the idea.
her
We
baby.
have been
That's
toying
what
around
she
with the
wants.
idea,
That's where it's
but,
at. Nobody's
it's
doing
just-
restaurants
Right.
anymore.
No.
That's
And
the
if
way
we
to go.
can roll up to
Yeah.
block
You know, like,
parties
it's just-
and
It's a lot
events
that we're
with a
still
little
talking
truck,
about,
Truck,
you know.
come to the Sunset Park reunion. I mean, I'm trying to be there next year. I'm
No,
just
absolutely.
saying.
Coolest thing I saw, I went to a wedding. They had like 4 or 5
Oh, that's
food
a
trucks.
big thing.
They don't do catering anymore.
Yes.
Now they do food
It's
Yes.
trucks,
so
which is so awesome.
different.
Now, if you could get your people, happy, forget about it. That's next level.
It
Oh,
changes
there's
the industry.
there's expos. There's cannabis expos for weddings. It's been happening on the West Coast for years now.
And now it's coming here.
Back in May, we went to AC. We went to WICE, which is the Women in Cannabis Expo.
Okay.
So the West Coast is way ahead of us,
Yeah.
because they legalized it a long time ago.
yeah.
And we're in this cannabis community, especially women in cannabis community, online and in social media, and we get a lot of ideas and a lot of feedback
And a lot of support.
Support.
Is it big,
Yeah.
that community?
It's
Or
Ooh.
Yes.
it's pretty big, yeah?
Yes.
And powerful.
Yeah, is it
and
really?
So
That's
powerful.
awesome.
One of the biggest things that I walked away from this Women in Cannabis Expo was we went, we didn't have a booth. We went to go see what it's all about and network and whatever. And when I say every table we hit was so welcoming and like just dropping jewels.
That's
Where
awesome.
are you guys at?
That's
How
awesome.
far have you gotten on the legal aspect? Well, you're gonna need this.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I
That's
mean,
awesome.
it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like they made it here and they were throwing their hand
Oh, that's
to bring
awesome.
you back up. And the
That's
women, where women were catty, emotional, but all of these women were real boss women with their companies, their C corps.
That's
Just
smart.
amazing. And they were like, well, what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want property? You want to grow and cultivate your own cannabis?
They threw all the options at
everything.
you.
That it was a little
That's amazing,
overwhelming.
'cause
It was
you don't-
you don't
You
get that.
don't get that.
You don't get that.
From
You don't
women,
get-
you don't get that. It's an inner competition
Correct.
that I
None
don't
of that
want
was
you to
there.
be
No,
better.
that's
whatever.
only this
Yes.
patriarchal world that puts that spin on it.
Wait,
All right,
way
I'm
to
sorry.
bring it back
Okay.
to life.
Okay,
I like that.
I'm
I
sorry.
like that.
So,
Bring it back down, guys.
well, we already know he's at a 10, so we gotta,
He
It's
doesn't
like
need to
fishing.
know.
Bring you
We
down.
gotta reel him in. We gotta
Fucking
reel
throw
him
some
in.
hot sauce on your head. So listen, we're coming in against the clock. We got 4 minutes, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick it up outside.
Okay.
But before we get off the mics, one by one, please say where folks can reach out to you. If you want to promote your Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Elisa.
Lisa, and we are
Canna Kitchen.
and you're listening
Listening
to
to Three Shooters.
with Chris and Lou.
Oh, Lisa.
It's about 6:23, and this is my last bite of the beef empanada from Canna Kitchen, infused. I only took half empanada. That's all I took, and I don't know. So let's see what happens. First of all, this is fucking delicious. Oh my god. Not even 116 has this shit on. I'm sorry, I'm talking my mouth full. But oh my god, it's delicious. Wow. Beef empanada infused. Only had half. Cause I don't know how this is gonna fuck me out. I want to make sure. But just on the empanada alone, delicious. Delicious. I'll see you guys, I don't know, from 15 to 45 minutes. Whenever this shit kicks in, I'll be recording again.
My guy gets in my DM. He's like, Law, I got a dilemma. He says, how come every time I compliment a good-looking woman on social media, she thinks I'm trying to get with her? He's like, all I'm trying to do is say you're a beautiful female. He's like, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I said, my friend, unfortunately, social media has made superstars out of the average person. So, you know, you have somebody, you have a good-looking female, and she just assumes that if a guy's in her DM, that's what his motive is. My advice to you is, I wouldn't do it anymore. Save your compliments to yourself and just keep it moving. I don't know, guys. How'd I advise? Drop a comment.